Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Jared Powley's Fragrance Reviews. Tonight we're going to be looking at an excellent fragrance, one that is an outright sleeper from the house of Karl Lagerfeld. This fragrance is known as Lagerfeld Man, EDT Eau de Toilette, which came out in 2003. This is classified as a woody, spicy fragrance. This is an outstanding release from the house of Karl Lagerfeld, and I do not think this fragrance has ever been reviewed on YouTube. This is a real under the radar gem. It is a beautiful scent that is spicy, floral, and warm, but still masculine. I find this fragrance very, very appealing and very warm, very cozy, very inviting. So I'm going to take this out of the box. It's got a very interesting bottle with kind of a rubber top here. Pull off the top, give it a spray. So initially, you get this moderately sweet citrus and these floral notes. But throughout this whole fragrance, there is a common accord that runs through it that I am not sure which note gives it this accord its body. And this is the note of like kind of a dustiness, a sweet or dusty citrus that is very, very almost, it's like somewhat sexy, and it has a niche appeal. As this fragrance starts to dry down, it becomes a little bit sweeter. It's spicy with the cinnamon. You still get the citrus, but a little more woody and powdery. But again, this dustiness is still there, and it's very, very captivating, very intriguing. Later on, the fragrance still has this dusty smell that is very unique, but it comes a little more warm and cozy. Later on, maybe 5-6 hours later, you get this ambery, like kind of burnt, toasty, ambery vibe to it, which is very interesting. So this fragrance, I would say, it doesn't have many notes, but it is somewhat complex. And I always love fragrances that as you smell your wrist or your clothes or your arm, they seem to evolve. They seem to develop in different directions, always leaving you guessing, always leaving you intrigued. So as advertised, the top notes are yuzu and lavender. The mid notes are cedar, white woods, and cinnamon. The base notes are musk, amber, and vetiver. So I just want to quickly talk about one note, which is yuzu, which is in fact a citrus that is about the size of a grapefruit. This citrus gives the fragrance a sweet, bitter, almost at times a bit of a skunky smell that is very, very sexy to many people. Final thoughts on this fragrance. I would say it has above average performance. I got about 5 to 6 hours. Projects for about the first 2 hours, then starts to pull in a fair bit to the skin, and the scent trails are decent, and the scent bubbles about an arm's length. So for a very reasonable price, you get a very good performing fragrance. This is no longer being produced, to my knowledge, so you're going to have to try to get it somewhere online, and it could cost you a little bit of money. But if you're looking for something that's different and looking for something that's very interesting, this may be the fragrance for you. If you can, always try before you buy. There is one other aspect to this fragrance that I briefly mentioned earlier. This fragrance is very elegant, and it has niche qualities that if you were to spray it, I don't think a lot of people would think that this would have been at one time a $30 fragrance. You could easily say, well, I paid $300 or $400, because it has some very sophisticated notes to it and accords. Also, I find this fragrance to be very pleasant. I think maybe 95% of the population would like it, and it's so well blended. And this dusty sweetness has this sense of like nostalgia, but it's still modern at the same time. It does not have any of the so-called old school vibes if you don't like those. So I say this scent is a real winner. I think most of the population would like it. And if you ever can find it and you can get it for a decent price, and you don't mind like floral notes that are a little bit spicy, I think it could be a fairly safe blind buy, but I'm always one to try before you buy. If you like this video, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell. If you have any comments or questions or any experiences with this fragrance or any other by Karl Lagerfeld, leave them down below and I will always get back to you. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.